Hey, did y'all hear? It's gonna be more performance-oriented. The one that's faster is gonna be more powerful. You hear? So please don't, for the love of God, be upset with me for talking about this, Sony guy. It's not a big deal. It's not a big. You know what? Let's go ahead and get an information. How about that? Hey guys, this Dealer here, back again with yet another video talking about the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, and you know what? There's a shocking left field analysis that has revealed a serious performance delta, and that analysis is called math. Yes, math itself has disabled and dismantled many of the arguments out there. And we've got an article we're going to go over today, or at least summarize. You know, of course, I link these things down below for you guys to read yourselves. But of course, I look forward to the conversations down in the comment section. And of course, if you haven't already, maybe end up liking this video, hit the like button, maybe show a buddy or two, maybe 500 if you happen to have 500 of those buddies. Also, shout out to Open Mic Music, link down below. Buy it if you happen to give a damn. He's a great producer. I really recommend it. And of course, shout out to the patrons and channel members that support what I do. You guys rock. Thank you so much. Even during a time like this, you guys persist, and I do appreciate it. So let's get into the information. PS5 graphics beaten by the Xbox Series X in shocking left field analysis. Oh, it's so shocking. We've only been talking about how this would happen I'm done saying it. I'm done. The article here goes on to tell you what a teraflop is. We've talked about it a billion times. It's basically the amount of calculations a chip can put out, but that it is not the only thing that matters, not even close. And really, software and efficiency behind the architecture really determines how much of that horsepower you can put to the ground. Blah, 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 blah. Quantum leap in the systems are obviously the CPU. NAND flash is going to be big for the way these games load and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, nothing beats raw GPU, CPU processing power, provided there are no other bottlenecks, which to my eye and, other people like maybe Linus Tech Tips, who is a millionaire based off of building computers, he slaps one of these NVMe SSDs in every single one of them and doesn't talk about how it's a bottleneck. Bottom line, processing comes from CPU, GPU. Build a balanced system around that in terms of bandwidth and of course storage, and you are going to be just fine. Tech analyst and news outlet Notebook Check reports that the gap between Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 graphical capability could likely result in Microsoft's console being 30% more powerful than its Sony rival. Now, I'm going to link their entire article on this, but I do have to say that some people say, so what? The gap between the Xbox One and PS4 was 20 or 30%. This is no different. Let me ask you a question. What's 30% of $10? $3, correct. What's 30% of $100 or $1,000? Point is, when that delta, when that performance ceiling increases, that same 30% becomes the difference between 4 million pixels, not 300,000 pixels. Now it is becoming the difference between millions of pixels in addition to more effects and better ray tracing. It's like anything, giving up X amount of your income tax. The more you make, the more that same percentage is, because there is more money there to begin with. There is more performance here to begin with. That 30% is so much more than you think it is. In 2013, the entire delta was about 300,000 pixels, the difference between 900p and 1080p. Xbox One X versus PS4 Pro on games like Red Dead 2, Metro, and so many others, you see differences of 4 million pixels, or what equates to anywhere from 20 to 30 frames per second, depending on your actual game engine. Now, of course, both versions of these games will run at 30 FPS. Due to that CPU bottleneck, they would put that extra performance into resolution, pixels. Now, with the CPU being the biggest leap in the system, you no longer have that issue. You are free to both free up frame rate and all kinds of CPU intensive effects. With Series X, the delta is even bigger, and thanks to RDNA 2, you are getting more performance per T-flop if you want to think about it that way. Notebook Check also claims that the PS5 will be on the back foot when it comes to to higher resolution gaming. After all, there is also the pretty big, well over 100 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth to take into account that the Series X has over the PS5. It's faster CPU over the PS5 as well as, hey, pretty much every single other metric aside from those SSD load times. When it comes down to it, and this is really the key phrase, we will have to see what happens when it comes to developers. But if modern titles are anything to go off of, many developers are pretty good at leveraging different levels of hardware. And as I've always said, I think PS5 is coming in at 4, Series X at 5, and Lockhart at 3. And when it comes to Lockhart, I think some of that reveal announcement information may have gotten pushed back, not the production or release of the system. Who knows when we'll see that? But when it comes down to, hey, we have a Lockhart system, this is our new generation Xbox One S, it's actually a beast, but developers are going to complain anyway because they're used to the PS5 and the Series X. That's still going to be there. I think that'll come in at around $300, and I guess we'll see how that works out. When it comes down to this article, I wanted to paraphrase it for you guys, save you some time. I figured I'd put out a video, felt pretty good today. Let me know your thoughts, and really, again, shout out to everything you guys do for me, this channel, the likes, the retweets, all of the shares, and of course, the channel members, the patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for what you do, especially in a time like this. If you haven't checked out some other videos, hey, there's a whole channel full of crystal ball shit, so let me know what you guys think down below. I'm Dealer, and of course, try to take your mind off of, you know, maybe some of your problems, some of the stuff going on out in the world today, play some games, and try to have fun, guys, you know, hang out with friends online. I'll be online. Again, I'm Dealer. I'm out.